Seniors, eat papaya, but never make these 7 deadly mistakes. Have you ever started your morning with a bright slice of papaya, its golden color glistening in the sunlight, its sweetness soft on the tongue, and thought, "This must be doing something good for me"? It's a moment of quiet pleasure, a small ritual that feels both tropical and nourishing. For many of my patients, especially those in their 60s, 70s, or 80s, papaya is more than just fruit, it's comfort, a taste of home, a gentle way to begin the day or cool down after a warm afternoon walk. And truthfully, papaya is good for you. But as with many things in life, the details matter more than we think. Over the years, I've watched how small habits often built with the best intentions can quietly create health issues. Not dramatic ones, but persistent. A little stomach discomfort, a surprising blood pressure shift, a medication not working quite right. And so I've come to believe that sometimes, taking a closer look at something simple like how we eat our fruit can be an act of real self-care. Today, I want to talk to you, heart to heart, about 7 quiet mistakes people often make with papaya. Mistakes that are easy to fix, but worth understanding. Let's take this journey together. Section 1. Not washing the skin before cutting. It's such a simple thing, isn't it? You pick up a papaya, place it gently on the counter, and begin slicing into it, ready for that familiar softness and tropical sweetness. But in that quiet, everyday moment, there's a step that many of us skip without thinking: washing the skin. Now, you might be thinking, "But I'm not eating the skin. Doctor, why should I wash it?" It's a fair question. But here's what most people don't realize: the knife you use becomes the bridge between the outer world and your inner body. When we cut into fruit without washing it, we risk dragging invisible contaminants, bacteria, pesticides, even residue from animals or handling at the market straight into the flesh. In fact, several documented outbreaks of foodborne illness have been linked to unwashed papayas. These incidents often involve seniors or those with weakened immune systems. Not because papaya itself is unsafe, but because we trusted the fruit too quickly. You don't need harsh chemicals or expensive tools to prevent this. Just cool running water and a soft brush or your hands is enough. Gently rinse the surface, then pat it dry with a clean towel. That small act can protect your digestive system and safeguard your medication routines. I've seen patients who suffered from prolonged digestive troubles only to discover it stemmed from simple food hygiene practices. And they were always surprised it didn't feel dirty. After all, but health isn't always about what we see, it's about what we honor. So next time you reach for that golden fruit, take a breath, take a moment, and wash it first. That little pause could make all the difference. Section 2. Storing papaya the wrong way. Papaya is a delicate fruit, more delicate than most of us realize. Its tender flesh and high water content make it incredibly nourishing, but also surprisingly vulnerable. And how we store it, especially as we grow older and our immune system slow down, can quietly shape whether it supports our health or undermines it. When I visit the homes of my elderly patients, I often find papayas resting on the kitchen counter for days, even when they're already ripe. It's a common habit, done with love and intention, but unfortunately, it can invite spoilage and harmful bacterial growth. An unripe papaya is fine at room temperature. Letting it ripen slowly in a shaded, dry place helps it develop that golden hue and signature aroma. But once it's ripe, soft to the touch, and fragrant, it needs to be transferred to the refrigerator. That step pauses the ripening and helps preserve its nutrients. If you've already cut your papaya, it becomes even more sensitive. Left at room temperature for more than 2 hours, especially in a warm kitchen, it can quickly become a breeding ground for bacteria like Listeria or Salmonella. Here's what I gently recommend: store ripe, uncut papayas in the fridge and place sliced ones in a sealed container. Try to consume the cut fruit within 2 to 3 days. Avoid putting it next to strong-smelling items like onions. Papaya soaks up scents easily. You've nurtured your health for decades. This isn't about being strict, it's about respecting the fruit that nourishes you. A little care in how we store our food isn't just for freshness, it's for peace of mind. For that quiet confidence that the choices we make, even in our kitchens, are acts of love for ourselves. Section 3. Throwing away the seeds. Most of us have done it, scooped out those small, slippery papaya seeds and tossed them straight into the trash without a second thought. After all, they're bitter, peppery, and not exactly inviting. But what if I told you that inside those tiny black pearls lies a forgotten source of gentle nourishment over the years? I've met many seniors dealing with sluggish digestion, low energy, or lingering inflammation. And while papaya flesh certainly helps, it turns out the seeds carry unique strengths that are often overlooked. Papaya seeds are rich in fiber, healthy fats, and trace minerals like magnesium and calcium. More importantly, they contain natural compounds with antimicrobial properties, meaning they may help fight harmful bacteria in your gut. I remember a patient in her late 70s who, after adding just a few crushed seeds to her morning smoothie, experienced a noticeable improvement in her digestion. Not a miracle, just a quiet shift. But here's the key: moderation. Papaya seeds contain enzymes and alkaloids that, while helpful in small amounts, can become burdensome to the liver or kidneys if overused. I always suggest starting with just half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon per day. That's all most people need. You can chew them raw, blend them into a smoothie, or even dry and grind them as a peppery spice. Just remember, they're a supplement, not a staple. Our generation was taught not to waste good food, and yet sometimes the most valuable parts are what we throw away. So next time you're preparing your papaya, pause. Look at those seeds with new eyes. They may be nature's quiet gift, meant not for the garbage, but for your gentle, wise body. Section 4. Eating papaya. That's too unripe. There's something very comforting about a ripe papaya: the softness under your spoon, the sweetness on your tongue. It's like the fruit is offering you kindness. But when that same fruit is eaten too soon, before it has had time to fully ripen, it can tell a very different story. Many of my patients, especially those who enjoy traditional dishes from Asia or Latin America, are used to eating green papaya in salads or stews. And that's perfectly fine when it's cooked. Cooking helps break down the natural compounds that might otherwise irritate the stomach. But raw, unripe papaya, that's where the trouble begins. You see, unripe papaya contains higher concentrations of an enzyme called Papain and a natural latex-like substance. In small amounts, Papain is helpful; it aids digestion. But when it's consumed in excess, especially from green papaya, it can lead to nausea, stomach cramps, or heartburn, and for pregnant women, there's a deeper concern. The latex in unripe papaya may cause uterine contractions, particularly in the first trimester. This has been noted in medical literature and confirmed in practice. I've counseled young mothers-to-be to avoid it altogether, just to be safe. So how can you tell your papaya is ready? Look for skin that's turning golden yellow with soft spots that yield to gentle pressure. It should smell fruity and sweet. If it's still hard and green, give it time. Place it on the counter and wait a few days. Patience is a form of love, especially when it comes to what we feed ourselves. Let the fruit finish its story before you invite it to your table. Rushing it may rob you of both flavor and safety. Section 5. Overeating papaya. Thinking more is always better. It's easy to fall in love with papaya. The color alone feels like sunshine on a plate. And when something feels this good and is known to be healthy, we often think, if a little is good, a lot must be better. But that's not always the case, especially as our bodies become more sensitive with age. Papaya is rich in vitamin C, vitamin A, fiber, and enzymes like papain. All of these support digestion, reduce inflammation, and help the body recover. But too much of any good thing, even papaya, can throw off our balance. Several of my older patients have come to me with stomach troubles they couldn't explain: loose stools, cramping, and even occasional heartburn. In more than one case, we traced it back to an overzealous morning habit: 2 or 3 cups of papaya at breakfast, every day. The fiber and enzymes in papaya are gentle in moderation, but in larger quantities, they can overstimulate digestion. For some, it causes diarrhea or bloating. For others, it can interfere with how medications are absorbed. There's also something called carotenemia, a harmless but surprising condition where too much beta-carotene from foods like papaya can give your skin a yellow-orange tint. It's not dangerous, but it can be unsettling if you don't expect it. So how much is enough? I usually recommend about 1 cup of diced papaya per day. That gives your body all the benefits without the side effects. In healing, more isn't always better. More is only better when it's what your body truly needs. Let your portions reflect not just your love for the fruit, but also your respect for your body's wisdom. Part 6. Eating papaya while taking certain medications. One of the most delicate parts of caring for our bodies as we grow older is managing medication. Whether it's for the heart, blood pressure, or chronic pain, our daily prescriptions become part of our rhythm. But here's something we don't often think about: how even healthy foods like papaya can quietly interfere with that balance. Papaya contains many helpful nutrients, but it also contains vitamin K and papain, both of which can interact with medications, particularly blood thinners like warfarin. I once had a patient whose lab results suddenly shifted, and we discovered that his new habit of eating papaya every morning was affecting the stability of his blood clotting levels. Why? Because vitamin K influences how blood thinners work. If you suddenly start eating more vitamin K than your body is used to, your medication may not work the way it should. That means a greater risk of either bleeding or unwanted clotting, both of which can be serious. Papain, the natural enzyme in papaya, can also increase the effect of certain medications, such as anti-inflammatory drugs or anticoagulants. And if papaya speeds up your digestion too much, it may reduce how well some pills are absorbed, especially those meant to release slowly over time. Now, does that mean you should stop eating papaya altogether? Not at all. But it does mean we need to be thoughtful. If you take regular medications, especially for blood or heart health, talk to your doctor before making papaya a daily habit. Your medications are part of your lifeline. Papaya can still be your friend, but only when it's a friend that fits into the whole picture of your care. Part 7. Ignoring allergic reactions to papain. For most people, papaya is gentle, soothing, and easy to digest. But for a small number of individuals, perhaps even someone reading this now, it can quietly become a source of discomfort or even danger. The reason lies in a naturally occurring enzyme called papain, which is abundant in both the fruit and its seeds. Papain is the enzyme that helps us digest proteins more easily. It's part of why papaya feels good in the stomach. But in sensitive individuals, papain can trigger allergic reactions. I've seen patients who, after eating papaya, experienced itching in their mouths, swelling in their lips or tongue, or strange stomach discomfort they couldn't explain. Most brushed it off the first time. Some thought it was just a coincidence, but over time, the reactions grew stronger, and in rare cases, much more serious. In medical terms, this is known as oral allergy syndrome, and it can escalate into anaphylaxis, a life-threatening condition if left unrecognized. There's another layer. 2 people with latex allergies are more likely to react to papaya. That's because the proteins in latex and papaya are similar. This is called latex fruit syndrome, and I've met several patients over the years who discovered their papaya sensitivity only after reacting to a latex glove at the dentist or hospital. If you've ever felt a burning, itchy sensation in your mouth after eating papaya, or if you know you're allergic to latex, it's important to talk to your doctor or allergist. A simple test can bring clarity and peace of mind. You deserve to enjoy your food without fear, and your body deserves to be heard even when it whispers. Part 8. Believing papaya can cure everything. We all want something simple and natural that can help us feel better, and in recent years, I've seen papaya celebrated across magazines, blogs, and television as a kind of miracle fruit. People claim it heals digestion, reverses aging, detoxifies the body, and even cures disease. It's tempting to believe, especially when you're tired of pills, appointments, and uncertain diagnoses. But as someone who's walked beside patients for decades, I want to gently remind you, no single fruit is a cure-all, not even papaya. Yes, papaya is rich in antioxidants. Yes, it helps with digestion. Yes, it supports immunity, but it's not medicine. And it doesn't replace the care, the balance, and the consistency that real healing requires. I once cared for a man in his early 70s who stopped taking his blood pressure medication after reading that eating papaya daily would naturally lower his numbers. He meant well. But within weeks, his pressure spiked and we had to start over. The truth is, papaya works best as part of a healthy life, not the centerpiece. It's a helpful ally, not a hero. And real wellness comes from weaving together many threads: sleep, movement, community, hydration, and yes, fresh, colorful fruits like papaya. So enjoy your papaya. Let it be a daily blessing. But keep your expectations grounded. Healing isn't about shortcuts. It's about steady, loving attention to the body you live in. Don't give papaya more responsibility than it can hold. And don't give up on your whole health journey just because one fruit feels promising. Part 9. Letting papaya soak up odors and contaminants in the fridge. It's a quiet mistake, one that I've seen happen again and again, often unnoticed. You store your ripe papaya lovingly in the fridge, thinking you've done everything right. It's chilled, protected, and ready to nourish. But when you take a bite, something feels off. A strange flavor, a subtle aftertaste. And you wonder what happened. The answer may be simpler than you think. Papaya, like many soft fruits, is highly absorbent. Its porous flesh can easily soak up odors and chemicals from its surroundings, especially when stored uncovered or near strong-smelling foods like onions, garlic, or leftover curry. One of my patients, a kind, meticulous woman in her late 70s, once brought me a small container of sliced papaya to smell. She said it reminded her of cleaning fluid, even though her fridge was spotless. We discovered it had been stored next to a leaking container of pickled vegetables. The papaya had absorbed the scent, and with it, potentially the bacteria. This is more than just a matter of taste. Cross-contamination in the fridge can introduce unwanted bacteria or allergens into your fruit. And for older adults with weaker immunity, even mild contamination can upset digestion or interact with medications. So what's the best way to protect your papaya? Always store it in a sealed, airtight container. Keep it separate from pungent or spicy foods. Label it with the date and aim to eat it within 2 to 3 days of cutting. Refrigeration is not just about cooling, it's about creating a safe, clean space for your food to rest. Papaya gives you its sweetness freely. Let's offer it the same care in return. As we come to the end of this quiet journey through the world of papaya, I hope you're walking away not with fear, but with clarity, with gentleness, and with deeper trust in your own wisdom. Papaya is not the enemy. In fact, it's a gift, colorful, soothing, full of life. But as we've seen, even beautiful things can carry quiet risks if we move through them without attention. From skipping a simple rinse to storing it carelessly, to assuming it's a miracle cure. These small habits can add up, not because papaya is harmful, but because our bodies change. What worked when we were 30 may not serve us at 70. The truth is, papaya isn't just fruit, it's a relationship between you and your health, between nature and nourishment. And like any relationship, it thrives when approached with care, patience, and respect. So as you slice your next papaya, maybe tomorrow morning, maybe next week, I invite you to pause. Wash it slowly, store it wisely, savor it in balance. Listen to how your body responds, and if something feels off, trust yourself enough to ask a question or seek advice. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be present. Because in these small acts of attention, you are doing something profound, taking care of yourself in a world that often rushes past the details. If this video has gently reminded you of something valuable, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Share your favorite way to enjoy papaya, or a tip you've learned over the years. And if you think someone you love could benefit from this conversation, send it along. Until next time, be well, stay curious, and continue treating your body like the lifelong companion it truly is.